Dude, live.
You're now watching two old farts making noises. Wilde About Art.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Welcome to your
Natassia
show.
Wilde. This is my show via the Two Old Men Farting show.
Or
And
TOF. You could just say TOF if you're too embarrassed to say two old farts.
this is Natassia. This is Wilde About Art. I'm Natassia Wilde, and this is my last show.
I know
Oh.
this is. We're gonna miss you.
Handkerchiefs,
But wait,
Stephen.
I
Handkerchiefs.
actually
Live in
have
the world.
Oh, he
have
actually
a
has
handkerchief.
one.
I
He
have
has
one.
one. Hold on.
Because
I can do that too.
Okay, fine.
Oh wow, that's really convincing, actually, Dave.
That's more convincing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should consider a career in acting.
He does that in all the board meetings when he hears about profits.
I'm
So,
sure, yeah.
Well, so somebody said to me once I should be on the stage, but then they said sweeping it. But that's another story.
or there's one leaving in 10 minutes. So it could go either way. Yes, this is your last show.
Yeah.
We're going to miss you. So,
Yes.
I'll miss you guys too.
well, we know that.
I won't miss being on camera at 9:15 in the morning, but just because I get very tired and my coffee needs to.
No, but all your fans are going to miss you being on at 9:15 in the morning because they get to see the real you.
Oh yeah, right.
As do we.
There's
As
not
do
enough
we.
makeup
But-
to cover some hangovers, you know.
But before
That's the best
we
shows.
came live, you were going to give us a little bit of reflection, I think, about the Austin art scene for 2022, and maybe
And where you're going to
bit
be. Where you're going to be in
so,
2023.
I mean, I'm sure. Basically, what's happening is I'm getting busy again, and which I'm grateful for. So I've got some time constraints, and I'll need to be devoting my energy to producing some really incredible shows coming up for you guys. So with that, I wanted to talk about some venues that are really amazing that you may or may not know about. Probably not, because they're like that hit, right? Too cool.
Okay.
So the first one I want to talk about is Indra's a warehouse. So it's called the Warehouse. It is a warehouse space in the far east Austin, and it's really
Wait. I have a question on that right away. It's in the Far East. So is this in the Asian section of town because it's in the Far East? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Oh, good one, Steve. Run.
Thank you. I have an Asian wife. I can get away with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've already got one Asia hit in your books today. Good job.
Thank you very much.
It's actually it's on like FM 969, which is like I don't know.
Okay.
I
That's
wanna...
farm road for people that have no
farm
clue.
road.
What
We still
farm
have farm
road.
roads in Texas, by the way, everyone.
Yeah.
That's what we do
Yeah,
here.
I thought it was a radio station when you were talking about it. Yeah, tune in to
Farm Road 969. The FM is Farm Road. So Farm Road 969 is literally you punch in the address, Farm Road 96. That's how you find it.
So
what's
if
the
you
pla-
had
what's the place
had a
called?
radio station, then it would be like FM 1234 FM, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Or is that?
you could
Yeah.
to do the FM. Yeah, for sure. I mean, maybe they'll do. That's actually not a bad idea. We should do a radio station out of Indra's. So Indra's have been around for a while, for many years, and it's been like one of those places that me and my friends have been going and partying and having amazing events at for years. And the space is owned by an incredible creative. Her name is Randy Southard, and she is a painter, and she also just is really devoted to artists and to art in general. So she has decided that she wants to do a few art shows, and before we do that, I think we're going to do a couple of movie screenings because there are some incredible puppets that have arrived. Now, I have always had this is big for me. This is a big deal because I have always had like this irrational, like not exactly fear, but just like aversion to puppets. Like ever since I was a little
Are you talking
kid.
like are you talking like Muppet puppets?
Okay, so it's really more Muppets that bother
Okay.
me. I think
Okay.
it's the mouth thing, you know? I'm
Okay.
just like, that's weird. And then also just that someone has like their hand and they're like directing it. I have control issues. Okay.
Wow. You have a lot of issues. Listen, the next show we do with you is going to be
I hope
Psychology
you've been
Today.
cataloging them for my therapist.
I am.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How not to be a Muppet. That's
Yeah,
How
but
not-
these are not Muppets. They are beautiful
Okay.
works of art. They're like
Yeah.
they're Falcor. Like, you guys remember the Neverending Story?
Yep.
I mean, I know
Yep.
you're. Yeah. Okay. Great. That
Yeah.
that definitely has to be something.
Okay.
You
We're not that
remember,
old.
but
Well, we
for
are.
my
but-
generation,
Right.
that is actually like we're on the verge. I'm experiencing. I think I know how you guys feel a little bit because
Right.
there's people who don't know what the Neverending Story is.
Wow.
In fact, last night I got an age correction. Somebody said that there was no Instagram in 2006, and I was like, yeah, there was. Like, there was Facebook. They were like, there wasn't even Facebook. I'm like, yes, there was. I graduated from high school in 2005, and then I was like, fuck. Now everybody knew. I was like, okay, I feel really old now. But I mean, that just goes to show. So Falcor is like I would say like he's the luck dragon in Neverending Story. He's like kind of the
Right.
main character. I mean, I guess there's Atreyu who's like the hero. But actually, apparently, the actor that played Atreyu, lives in Austin. Can you believe it?
Wow.
Yeah, and so we're getting together. There's also somebody making a documentary on the film, and so we're collaborating with her and possibly him because I think she knows him
Nice.
to come, and we have all of these amazing puppets that this guy named Maddie has created, and like they're really beautiful. Like, just, I mean, he's an artist.
Right.
100%. And he makes these characters out of like The Labyrinth and Neverending Story and like all these kind of 80s films.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful. So I'm excited for that because we're going to create like sort of this immersive environment for you to come watch the film. So you can like come in and like be in the Neverending Story with like
With the puppets.
and all the things with the puppets, like with the characters.
And when
really
is that? I'm going to go to that.
Yeah, you should definitely come. You'd love it. Bring your beautiful wife. Dave, you can do the screening from afar. You can set the phone up.
I'll live stream it for you, Dave.
I was just wondering how the puppets managed to get a green card, but there you go. That's,
I know.
So it's difficult to get into the US, isn't it? So
yeah, I think they possibly have been made here. I think Maddie actually
not made in China then.
Let me see. I want to show you.
So now, when is the streaming or when is the opening of this event? Because
now, don't ask me about these dates. Okay, they're still in development. But these are happening. Within the next month for sure.
Okay.
That one we're gonna do.
Tell everybody the name one more.
Others.
And tell everybody the name one more time of where it's going to be.
Indra's, INDRAS, Indra's a warehouse. And that's just a venue that you should keep in mind because like even this weekend there's 2 shows there. If you're into electronic music, I know you guys aren't.
Oh, we are. We are. Oh man, please. The Chemical Brothers, we're like this.
Yeah, I know. You just jam it all day.
Kraftwerk for me, if Kraftwerk are the granddaddies of all electronic music. I saw them on a program in the UK called Tomorrow's World, where they were demonstrating these synthesizers they made, which were literally wired onto knitting needles, and they were playing these things.
Are you being serious?
You can seriously, you can find it. You can find it on YouTube, and without Kraftwerk, there wouldn't really be a lot of hip hop either, because a lot of early hip hop had Kraftwerk in it. We could do a whole show on that.
Been developing these technologies for years now.
So. All right, so there's techno music at the Indo warehouse, which is on Farm Road something or other.
Well, I mean, if anybody does know about techno music, one of my favorite artists is playing on Saturday. His name is Suhan. Seriously cool stuff. I mean, honestly, if you were at all into electronic music, you would probably be into his because he does these like mix downs of older. Well, he does all kinds of stuff, but he like brings in world music and like old school like blues and
Oh, wow.
you know, all kinds of stuff, and then he like just makes it super sick, just like incredible. It'll just be just going super hard. So
can I go back to the show then, the one with the labyrinth puppets and being not being flippant now for a change, but why this why this renaissance then? Is it an anniversary of when the film's coming out, or somebody just found them in a warehouse somewhere and thought, well, it's be a good time to bring them out again?
Yeah, actually, it is an interesting story. I mean, the guy basically he was in LA, and Randy, the owner of Ender's Warehouse, she made it her mission to get him here and all his puppets. So she like raised money to get a moving truck with his 60 puppets. Yeah, and they're not small. They're like big. They're like I mean, Falkor is the size of a couch. So and he does make those for like people to sell, but mainly he makes it for the love of it. And we will be having also an oddity sort of market for these puppets, and like a live auction and a live silent auction I'm gonna do on the phone, like you guys kind of taught me how to do. He came through with all his amazing artwork, and just happens to have like pretty much most of the cast of the Neverending Story. Also, they are remaking the movie, so I don't know when that comes out. I'm gonna Google it. The Neverending Story remake. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but they're doing a new
I have not, but they're remaking everything at this point. So
right. Well,
I'm not really shocked that they're making
so uncool.
Yeah.
But
the Neverending Story back in the day was like awesome, just because of it was almost like a Muppet movie, just because you had the, if you will, the pageantry of the Muppets or puppets or puppet art with the live action. It's kind of like what Roger Rabbit was, or with stop animation with live people, or what the Gene Kelly thing where he danced with Tom and Jerry back in the 50s. So it's like that's kind of what it's like. So for the people that are really into it, just to see the pageantry of the work, it's worth coming just to see this.
It's beautiful, yeah. And I mean, and these puppets really do look like exactly like the thing. Anyway, so there's that. That's really exciting. I think it's going to be a great immersive experience for people, and that's just the start. The space is just, I mean, you walk in and it's like, where am I? Because the way that it's set up is just dreamy. It's like surreal. There's like a little library. I mean, I won't ruin it, but seriously, just don't miss it. There's like cages, all kinds of crazy art. It's what's up. So,
there's cages. I'm going.
I know, right? Yeah, we need to put you in a cage for sure. One without like some sort of sound deadener, so we don't have to.
Listen, that's a good idea too. I like it. Anything with a cage with a sound deadener on there.
Okay, perfect.
Because at Hilda's House of Pain, I pay extra for that. But if it's somewhere where I can go for free all day long.
Hey, this is a PG podcast.
Hilda's House of Pain, just to walk in the front door, that's PG. Past it gets a little different.
Yeah, for sure. It's true. I know these days PG 13 is more like what R was. I think of just
when we were kids,
loosen the boundaries there. Now we're
when somebody was at high school, I think, but we won't mention the date.
Back in like 2006, when someone graduated, apparently. Who knows?
Yeah, I know, revealing everything. So there's that. And
so that's just one gig. So there's some other stuff happening as well.
Yeah, I'm also working with an organization called Raisin in the Sun, and this is headed up by an incredible creative who was also an Olympian. She went to UT, and she's just a really cool person, and has had this nonprofit organization that she's been running for years. And so I've just been working with her to promote shows for some local studios. That brings to mind the studios I want to mention. So people in Austin, you may have already heard of Something Cool Studios. They're a pretty popular East Austin art studio. I wouldn't say collective, but they have that vibe. and they feature lots of street artists. The guys who run it are artists and street artists, and they have, I mean, just really cool art. Jay Music is so cool, and he does like this amazing mosaic art that you'll see around town. And then Jay started another project, a side project called 2324 Studios, which is in East Austin as well, just down the road. And there's a big, you'll recognize it because there's a big rainbow cat mural on the side of the building. It's pretty distinctive. And they have an artist collective that is made up of all the artists who are renting studios from that 2324 studios. So they've got like kind of a main little gallery area, and then downstairs and upstairs there's all these tiny studios that are perfect for artists. And Raisin and the Sun collaborated with 2324 Studios to revamp the courtyard outside, make it cute, and we had some art put up. Felipe Gomez is one of the main artists that contributed. There were several, but he did some incredible. He does, I mean, he's just fire. Like his wood art is it's like a combination of engineering and like subtle gradients of staining, geometric art, sacred geometry. It's very like themed towards like, I think Brazilian or no, Colombian. He's Colombian. And so he's got some kind of like jungly kind of vibes. He does like animals and, women and portraits, but like on a vast scale, like huge, like wood. So it's beautiful. And so that's really cool. That's a project that I'm just helping them kind of have my fingers in it. And they're having a party. So they're having an event called Energy on Saturday on the 15th, which is Sunday. So
Saturday, Sunday.
So
they both
they're
begin with
having
an
a
S.
party called Energy on Sunday.
Okay.
Yes. And then there is something on Saturday with Raisin in the Sun, an artist called Jacob Guzman. He is having a meet and greet and artist talk at the artist residency program that they have. It's called the Blue House Project. You can find all this information on Raisin in the Sun's website. I'm helping them with that. One of the things I do, many things that I offer as far as just a freelance kind of art chick is a web design. And so I've been helping them do that and then promote their shows. And that's really cool because he does really interesting kind of like African leaning influenced art. Mm-hmm. And so he's got a residency for a while there. So he'll be talking about his artwork. I'm excited to hear about on Saturday. Okay, that is 1, 2, 3. And then I'm also working with Native Hostel. They are incredible. Oh my gosh. So if you have not been to Native Hostel, run, don't walk. It's like it's the coolest venue. I mean, it's really my like favorite place to be because they have a coffee shop, they have a tattoo parlor, they have,
of course they do,
chocolateria. I don't even know what that is called.
They make chocolate.
There's a guy who makes chocolate.
Okay. Chocolatier. Yeah.
There's a guy who makes chocolate.
A chocolater.
And it's so good. It's so good. And the coffee is really good. Like, I mean, the guy who owns the space, or one of them, he like the guy who like kind of curates the stuff that ends up there. He just has like this really, I mean, he likes fine things, and he makes sure that what he's presenting is quality. So the coffee and the chocolate, everything they offer, the drinks are really great too. And
where is this place in
art shows there too. So yeah, I mean, definitely love that. Love what's coming up in 2023 for Native Hostel in general.
So where is that place located if somebody wants to go there?
That's also on the east side, but closer to 35. It's on 3rd Street.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
and they
really,
can find it.
So it's like not quite in the heart of downtown, which is kind of nice because it's like you can just like hop over there, and then like you can I mean, it's great for your entry point or your exit point for the evening, or just to hang out all night because it's just so cool. there's like lots of different rooms. The decor is amazing. The architecture is cool. It was designed and built by one of the owners. So really, really cool space. And yeah, so getting my fingers dirty with them. I'm excited about that. And let's see what else. There is one more thing. Higher Ground, or not Higher Ground. I always mix these up, but there's Higher Ground's like a cool place, but I have nothing to do with them. There's a cool social club. It's a private social club. Also on the east side. All these East Austin projects, you know, like the art scene is concentrated on the east side mainly because, you know, it's kind of like the last frontier. It's definitely been taken over quite a bit already by the real estate and the changes and all of the money coming through and like tearing down houses and putting up, you know, condos, etc. But there's still kind of a little bit of a gallery row going on there. If you ever like want to go check out Austin art, like the more like underground, the more like just maybe less known artists, but are still super rad. They're going to be found like in the East Austin galleries. I mean, there's definitely some really well-established people there too, but you know, they're not the same people you're going to find at like WCC or, you know, 805. Those are like kind of more the ritzy galleries, ones where you're going to like drop some money for sure, but they do have some museum quality pieces. So anyways, where's it getting at? Highbrow, lowbrow. So that's in East Austin. It's a private social club that it's also very surreal. You walk in, it's got, it's funny. Like I felt connected with them because when you walk upstairs, there's like this really vibey room. It almost looks like a hookah lounge kind of, and there's a library, and like literally like half of the books are just the picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde.
Nice.
And I was like, yes. I love it.
Congratulations.
It's got that vibe for sure.
Very
like,
cool.
Yeah. He's like Oscar Wilde just, I think he's the whole mood. And anyone who's like into him gets that, you know, I just love the way he like thought about the world and, you know, etc. But, so I am going to be doing an art show there as well. They have like an amazing outdoor space, and it's like got a huge, there's like a kind of a like a tent canopy overhang awning. I don't even know how to call it. It's one like an air hanger, like an airplane hanger style.
Okay.
It's like white, you know, walls. So it'd be a really cool place for a show. And I've seen a couple out there, so that's coming up too. So yeah, I think that's enough to be getting on with.
So basically, you've got nothing going on for 2023. Got it. So that's good. Very cool. Out of everything you said, other than there's a private social club, and the place that has cages, because
you should check it out, Steve. Yeah, it's really cool.
If I can smoke cigars there, I'm there all day. But usually these places, they won't let you do that.
Younger
the
crowd.
Never ending. I know. Yeah, I'm an old school guy. I gotta have scotch and cigars, because when the young people, that's anybody, you know, between 14 and 114 talk, they're just too stupid. So I need scotch and cigars to like take my mind off of it.
Okay.
But the Neverending Story one, and that immersive experience, I think it's all fascinating. But for me, just being the big kid that I am, I would flock to in a second.
Yeah.
Everything else sounds great, but it's like, it's art, it's nice, it's going to be pretty. Your stuff I've seen, I would just go see that, of course, at the social club.
You don't even know, like,
you showed me
shows
stuff.
are not just art shows. Like they are, like, I think the reason they are so successful is because they're just like, it's a vibe. It's not just like your typical art show. Right. I like to create an energy in the space. I mean, the art selected specifically for like the theme and the energy I'm trying to create. And then there's like a nice flow that happens with the paintings. It's a whole story. And then on top of that, you know, the music is specifically selected for that. And like, you know, whoever performs, there's performance art. I mean, it's just like, you walk into one of my shows, it just feels different than the other ones. Like, it's not like kind of snoozy. It's
not the shows that we're used to going to, basically.
I'm gonna humble brag about that. Yeah, about my event.
Cool. Well, invite us to the show. I will come to the show, and then when Neverending Story, I will go to the immersive experience. David, I'll take pictures and send them to you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
We can even post your face.
Yeah, I'll bring a little sign and go, look, David was here with me. So all our fans can see it.
Yeah.
It'll be very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it happens soon because, if I die in the meantime, you just have to have a box of my ashes to carry around with you, Steve. So there you go.
That's fine. No, that'll work for me. Yeah.
Well, it'll be the never. I thought it was the Neverending Story.
Yeah, Neverending Story. Yeah,
the Neverending Story. It was just ended. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just, and they're making a remake like everything else.
Right.
But this is it. This is your last. That's it. This is like your big goodbye. We're gonna miss you.
Yeah, I've got one of my pictures I just released on Instagram. So you guys are following me on Instagram. Great. If not, please throw me a follow. You can read an article that just came out on Voyage Austin about me. I mean, it's kind of, it was a great experience. They're really awesome people, and you basically can learn about my whole art career. I mean, I left some things out, I realized, because it's hard to remember everything, honestly. That has happened.
Well,
especially at your age. At your age, you can't remember everything. Oh my God, how
Well, I just mean like all the things that have happened. I mean, there's Almost Real Things magazine. Like I was looking yesterday. I was at this really cool event at Highbrow Lowbrow actually, and they had it was like a collage art thing. So this guy Stephen Ecker put together, just brought a bunch of really awesome magazines and let us all in these kind of contact boards. We cut out things and put it on the boards. And I didn't do that because I actually do collage photography as one of my art avenues that I do. You can find on my Instagram.
Would you tell everybody your Instagram handle, please? Can you tell everybody your Instagram?
So my photography Instagram is Natassia Wilde Photography, and that's where you'll find me posting just pretty much exclusively my art and events that my art is featured at, right? And then there's Natassia Wilde for Art, and that is my everything Instagram. So you'll see I do cross post on my photography there, but it's harder to spot because I have so many others. I usually do a lot of event kind of compilations, video recaps, and interviews, and just all kinds of random stuff. And then I also post, if you like art, pretty much my story is a constant reel of art that I like. So it's just I post constantly cool art. So if you like to look at that stuff, follow Natassia Wilde for Art, and hopefully you guys can spell that right, or they'll get it on the.
It's there. It's there because we have a ticker with the stuff going constantly, so people know.
Yeah, there you go. So maybe the ticker will reflect that. But yeah, Natassia Wilde for Art and Natassia Wilde Photography. And so if you scroll down in Natassia Wilde Photography, because I did these pieces last year, or I think it was probably the year before actually, that I did some collage photography where I created some collages, and then I took really detailed macro photos of them. And the way that I like to do it was because I really enjoy the shadows and the textures of the paper and the folds in the paper. I didn't paste them down, so I kind of let them sort of sit. And so that's part of the art of it is the photos. And so that's why I didn't do it on the contact board. I just kind of brought them home. And I also have some of my own, photos that I have sort of torn out, which it's a crime in general because the prints were so beautiful. But I tore them out. So I'm going to use them as my part of my collage. And I think I'm going to put that piece that's coming up, hopefully, if it's good enough, to show in an art show coming up in February at Native Hustle called With Heart. I think it's called by
are you asking or telling us?
And Leah and Loria. Yeah. But anyways, what was I getting at? Yeah, you'll find some of my old collage photography on that if you scroll down the bottom.
Right.
Very cool.
Maybe. It's early, You just got in. That's how it works.
Yeah, I just flew in.
You just got in. I understand. So, my dear, that was wonderful. Thank you so much for all of that. Well, keep in touch. Invite us to stuff, and then we will show up where we can.
Yeah, if you guys do want to be on the invite list, the official invite list, you should subscribe to Natassia Wilde or go to wildeartcurations.com.
Right.
And you will find there'll be a pop-up that says, please subscribe. And then if you do, then you'll be on the list for all the cool events coming up. That's the way.
And Wilde Curations is spelled WILDE, by the way.
Wilde Art Curations. Yeah. And there's also a donation button there, PS, if you want to support my journey, because I am hustling, trying to get some stuff going, because it ain't easy being a creative. It's basically a form of insanity.
Wow. When we interviewed your mom seemed to be doing really good being a creative, just saying.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, I definitely love it. I love it, and I'm excited to see what comes of it. There's like a lack of stability that comes with it. I think I was reading, there's like an article in one of the magazines last night. I just ended up reading the magazine because it was like an art magazine. Oh, that's what I was getting at. Oh, there was an art. Okay. Sorry, it all comes back together. But the article I was reading was about just being a creative and how artists are, and just these types of people end up feeling like they are insane, or that they've kind of, because they've chosen this path. We've chosen this path, and it's just society is going, that's not smart. Don't do that. You can't make money that way, kind of thing, or 1 in 100 actually can. And I mean, I think that I'm definitely 1 in 100. I have got the entrepreneurial skills, and then so many different other skills to go with. But it definitely struck a heartstring for me. I was like, oh, you're strumming my pain with your fingers, like that song. And then I also found one of the magazines was an Almost Real Things magazine. They're these tiny little this magazines. I have a shit here. I have some actually.
As she goes and gets her 3-putter, she's probably.
Yeah. I have a bunch of them, but so they're this big.
Oh wow, very cool.
And then they basically, Almost Real Things is a really cool organization. I can talk about a little bit, and they have they've done incredible things. They feature different artists in every magazine, and this is the issue 21, which was in September of 2021, and this is issue that I was in.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, because I used to be at that was where my art gallery was at Art Almost Real Things. So let me find a little page.
Very cool.
There I am.
Aw, there we are, everybody.
Wild, and there's my photos. Oh, I don't know. It's that hard to see.
There you go.
Yeah, there I am.
Yeah.
So anyways, look them up as well. They have incredible events. So I'm trying to just shout out to all the organizations because they're so cool. We have such a cool, vibrant culture, Steve, and Austin,
I believe you.
that you don't know about.
Listen, I know you guys have culture. So they've got a painted cow somewhere down the street. I saw it was great. So
those are so old. I can't even believe they're still standing, to be honest.
Yeah, neither can anybody else. So it's a whole thing there. Yes, but for the people that have never been to Austin, if you've got an hour to kill, it's great. If you're gonna move here for tax reasons, it's also a good reason. There's Dallas and Houston, but Austin is still very unique. Traffic is just like now LA. So if you're going to try to escape the traffic, not the place to move to.
It's actually a little different than LA. In Austin, you'll be in traffic for an hour and you'll move maybe 12 miles. In LA, you'll be in traffic for an hour and you'll be on a totally different part of the country.
That's right. LA's a whole different thing. But yeah, traffic here, except certain hours, you can on 35, even back when I was here in 2015 was bad. And then the story that I met the guy on a flight that was the planning guy of infrastructure for Austin from 74 to I think it was 89 on a Delta flight from LA back to Austin.
Oh Lord, I hope you gave him hell.
I said to him, what were you guys thinking? And he literally said to me, he said, we figured the top population of Austin and the whole surrounding area, because you got to remember, we're hippies and we're smoking joints every day. And then this guy's working for the city. And I met his lovely couple. This is 6 years ago.
This is the truth. This is what I love.
I really wish I was making.
I also heard this story, but I'm loving that I'm getting confirmation now.
It's definitely comfort. And the reason we met is because the flight we were going to take from Burbank got canceled. So we had to go to LAX. So we got stuck in a nice way. Delta sent us in a car to go catch our flight, and we're all sitting in the front of the bus. So while we were waiting, we were just having this dialogue, and I said, "What do you do?" And he said, "I was the planning guy from that time period." He said, and I said, "What was the mindset?" And he said, "We were all hippies. We were all smoking pot and doing other stuff." He said, "No one ever thought Austin would be bigger than 500,000 people on its best day 100 years from now." And he said, and now we're at, I don't know, 2, 3, whatever million, and our infrastructure roads were made for about 100 to 200,000, and 500,000 was stretching. And he says, and unlike at Dallas, where what Dallas did is they have literally, when you go to Dallas, it's like 50 different levels of highway.
Oh my God, it's so confusing. I hate it.
Right? It's a whole thing. Like going in and out of Dallas, it's like I use like 17 GPSs. But in Austin, he said, we can't go up, we can't go down, I can't go wide, I can't. He says, nowhere to go. He said, so basically, it's going to get worse and be like LA. And I just started to laugh to myself, and I was like, I get it now. I understand how you laid at the city. I understand the roads. So now when I'm stuck in traffic, I think of this guy. I got his card somewhere in an email.
You just want to call me like, hey, I'm traffic. It's your fault.
No. But every time I get stuck, instead of getting annoyed, like, that's stupid, I literally just sit there and smile and think of the 2-hour dialogue I had with he and his just wife. And about that time, he had to be in his 70s or 80s or older. But just the nicest couple. And just thinking of the story, like we had no clue, and nor did we. We're like, we're hippies. Who's going to come to Austin ever? Just hearing that, I just sit there and like, yeah, I get it. And I just go through the traffic, and I'm like, it is what it is. Any other city, I'd be like, you MF this, you MF that. But here, hearing the story from the guy who did the infrastructure and his mindset with everybody else's mindset was like, that's the perfect Austin story. And I get the traffic now, and I get why it is.
If we don't build it, they won't come.
Right, that's what exactly what he thought. Yeah, that's what he thought.
It sounds like the sort of place that everybody should be coming to and visiting. And when they do come, I hope they
visit. But like they come and visit, and they're like, "Oh, this feels like home. I love it. I'm gonna move here." And then they do.
Don't move. Don't move here. And here's what's funny: the people that I know that come here from New York, they come here because it's the tax thing. And they like it because there's food.
Destroy the freaking culture. I hate it. Like,
I'm okay with that part.
But like, no, I mean, it's aggressive. Y'all come in here and you're like, yo, I'm here for the money, like from LA and New York. And it's like,
well, that's because that's what you need to actually live and be powerful and take over things. You guys in Austin will learn that one day when we own you. Well, we do. Anyway.
Exactly. My point.
So, and my dentist who I went to, he's a nice, we were joking yesterday. He's a Jew from New York, so he's a Landsman. Love him. And he went to the University of Florida. Tells me he used to live in Aventura. I go, dude, you have to live in the promised land at some point as a child, not Israel, Miami, as a Jew. Or you can't be a Jew. And then there's more. I'm finding like there's Jews here, which I'm shocked at because I found there's a couple. There's like 5 or 6 of us now. It's a private club. So Austin is really, for what Austin is, and I think what Austin might become, to Miss Wilde's regret, is it's going to be like Dallas, LA, the rest of it. You're going to have the Los Angeles or the San Francisco, Los Angeles people here. They're going to be the culture and hug a tree and whatever crap. You're going to get the New Yorkers, people from Boston, New Jersey, and they're going to come and you're going to get that. And you may end up with something very interesting in about 5 or 10 years. But I think a lot of everybody here is because they don't want to pay city and state tax. And you can still do business here. I mean, that's a whole nother story. We won't go into that, but I think Austin has a lot of potential, and I think some of the Northeastern mentality may get some of these art places to where they need to be and still keep that Austin vibe if they have an Austin partner.
I'm hoping, but I keep seeing all these galleries just bringing in artists that are not from Austin.
Well, yeah, that's what you do all over the world. Yeah, that's what you do, though. I'd like the Austin artists. I think if I owned an art gallery, I'd have half my gallery for the Austin art scene, because I think some of the artists here are truly magnificent.
Really?
And then I would have part of it for the international side, for the people that how do I put this? The people that think you have to have that. And this is, I have friends who own galleries in New York, and I always joke with them. Listen, if I want to make you famous tomorrow, I put you in my gallery, I promote you, you're famous. It's that simple. It doesn't matter if you have talent or not. I could draw a stick figure. If I promote you, you're going to make money. Yeah. And I think the problem here is that the people coming from New York are so used to the bullshit that they get in Soho and all the other crap that when they come here and they see a local artist, they're like, oh, I don't know. It's only $1,000. It's not like 25,000. Okay, you can give me 25. And I think they buy to impress. They want the value to increase. And what I learned when I started to collect when I was a teenager, I was told you buy what you like. And that's what I've always done. And I would say 80% of what I have is appreciated over the years. And another 20%, I could care less. I love it. I don't care if it goes up or down. I just like it because it touches me. And I think we did a show with you where we talked about that. And I think that can propel itself to the next level here. And especially with the influence from people from the Northeast that actually really understand art, not so much as you have to, screw somebody and screw the art. I mean, but if they combine the both, I think you'd have some really cool stuff here. And then get some more culture would be nice. Like, I don't know, get a museum, get a real theater, something,
Well, we can't wait to hear what's happening with you for the rest of the year, Miss Wilde. And we hope very much that you're going to come back and join us again so we can have series 2 running with you.
Yeah.
Please come back for an occasional visit.
It's been an absolute pleasure to be on your show, Wilde About Art, and we're going to miss you. And
guys.
Yeah, this is
everybody,
stay so David and I can talk to you. Oh, this is it. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the show. If you didn't like the show, then who cares? So if you love the show and miss Miss Wilde,
it's the last one, Stephen.
That you missed.
The last
I know it's terrible.
Yeah.
So well, we got that hot Asian chick that's going to replace her. Yeah, it's called How to Make Asian Food. Yeah, and she does it topless and bottomless. So we're very excited. I'm kidding. Can't do that on YouTube. It's against the law. We love you. Sorry, it's your last show. Here's everybody.
Well, sadly, this is the end of today's show. A really big thank you to everyone who contributed today to the show. And of course, thank you to my co-host, Stephen Oldfart. I'm David Oldfart. Don't forget, subscribe to the show and get all the latest updates from Two Old Farts Making Noises.